Hello there, everyone. This is Soulsword17 here, and let me just say this real quick. I did not own this picture, and this is not a paid video, but yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm gonna try to get out at least 2 videos before I go to bed tonight, because I got school tomorrow. I'm starting college tomorrow, so yeah. I will try and make up as many videos I can. So like right before I go to bed around like midnight or something, which I'm doing now. I'm gonna go to bed around midnight and I'll upload the videos while they're uploading, you get them. And I'm maybe waking up at like 5 something in the morning. So I may even make a video before school starts. And then, I'll post it in the afternoon or whenever. Alright? Okay. So, yep, I just want to let you guys know that. But anyways, this is one of the best characters I've ever played as. I like the Darksiders too. I like the character Death. It's just somehow, for some reason, I just like it. I don't understand why. If no one likes him, yeah, I don't. It doesn't matter to me. Alright? So, I'll make it up how he's going to be someone's reincarnation. Death is going to die in this, and then he becomes the reincarnation of someone. As you all know. Because I told you. It's Asta. So, yeah. So, this is how my version is. He is going to meet the other horsemen. He is going to go back to to them. Because there's always will be 4. Always. So he's gonna go there. He's gonna see. I don't know what's gonna happen, but that's gonna be like at the end, of like the series where he leaves and he just fights whatever war needs him, and he'll be the regular old Asta, but he'll have his Death's memories, his abilities, his power, the purple aura, and everything else. He'll even have his Death form. And plus, he'll have Dust and Despair. His horse. Dust is the crow, which, yeah. So, and, well, I just was trying to find a really cool picture of him, of Death. And I found this. And you know what? I thought it was perfect. So, yeah. Asta's technically gonna find this mask. But anyways, that's enough of me talking about this. Write down in the comments if you actually like Darksiders 2, because well, it was just freaking awesome. So, I played it, and I have never locked all the abilities, but I know what I can do with him. I can have him just summon, 3 ghouls, and have them be on fire or electricity, and just have them attack other people. So, and if you guys are gonna wonder, yes, he is gonna get the 5-leaf Grimoire. Okay? I just want to have one video where I just don't have to give him that. Because, honestly, I don't know why. I just want to see what will happen if I don't give Asta the 5-leaf Grimoire. But it's part of the anime, so frick it. But, yeah. So, he's going to get it. And how it's going to work is he's getting his own Grimoire. No, he's going to get a transformation of the 5-leaf Grimoire. And let's just say the Grimoire will be not a 6th or 7th, but it'll have 2 clovers on it. One will be 5, and the other one will be 4. So, you did the math. Alright, okay. That's enough of that. Let's just get into this. So, this is what if Asta was the reincarnation of Death, part 1. Alright. So, as Death is at the Well of Souls, finally, after killing an old brother, I forgot to mention, if you guys know the game, then you know who it is. I'm not really care about his name because I really didn't like him that much, so I don't really care about him. But anyways, yeah. An old brother of his, an old Nephilim, before he became the Horseman of Death. Came back for revenge. And he killed him again. So Death is pondering. As he says, I'm finally here. And I have no idea what I'm gonna do. No, I have no idea what I need to do. As the Crow Father comes, says, you have your answer. You know what to do. You can bring back humanity or the fellow Nephilims. It's all up to you, Death. As you know, the Crow Father is basically a ghost, a phantom. So when Death says yes, I know what to do, he takes off the mask. He gives it to the Crow Father, and he walks to the edge of the platform he's on and falls into the well of souls. I don't know if he just want to get out. I don't know if he really brought back humanity, but I believe he did. So basically, he chose to bring back humanity, and because of this, he was given new life, a new chance, a new start in the Black Clover universe. As he wakes up from being, just being like 4 years old, he wakes up and he sees the world. Yeah, sorry. I don't think 4. I'm gonna say he was a baby and he knows what happens. As I say, he sees somebody carrying him. No. He sees a woman and a man. As Death's thinking, what? Am I a child again? A baby? As he's seeing them and talking about saying Asta. As Death's thinking, that must be my name. Asta. Then I'll put in my name too. Death. Asta, Death. Funny. This may be some fun. As he knows, but Death does not know what's gonna happen. As a couple of years go by, and when he's 1 year old, attack happens on where his parents are. Yes, I am gonna go with the spade, clover, heart, diamonds, spade. Yeah, the Spade Kingdom they live in. As they're gonna attack. As I know that. So, he sees whatever happens. He sees what happened to his mother, and if I'm not gonna spoil it, but if you already know what, because of the manga, that villain attacks the person that his mother. As Asta, as Death will say, I will remember you. I will one day hunt you down, and I will make sure you are in a hole that you know. He says, I'm gonna hunt you down, and I'm gonna make sure that your soul will never go into the afterlife for what you have done. As just then, Death's powers activates for a brief moment. When the man came near him, he activated to summon out 3 coffins. Ghouls came out, and the man who killed his mother says, What are these things? It's basically, Death hears a voice, says, I don't know, but I don't know who summoned them. As then all of a sudden someone grabs Asta and runs. The ghouls are destroyed, and after that, a couple of hours later, he's in Hodge Village. As somebody leaves him on at a church basically. As Asta's appearance is gonna be different. He's gonna be even though he's gonna be 4 years old, he's gonna look a little bit muscular, because he's the reincarnation of Death and all that. So yeah. But anyways, just want to say that everything happens the same way. until like Asta knows who his parents are and know that they're dead. And all that doesn't know anything. Asta is friends with sorta. He stays away from everyone in the village because Diff wants, even though they're not his original parents, he was reincarnated, so they are his parents, and they died before he even got to know them. And the man who killed them had some strange creature's help, as he's thinking, I'm gonna make sure that man, whoever he is, will pay his life. As then all of a sudden, he feels his power still inside of him, and he's trying to unlock it again. He goes, I can't. I need to have more power. Maybe I need to get stronger. Maybe my body is different from when I was the horseman, so I can't summon it out. I have to work on it. As Death starts training, he starts working out vigorously at the age of 4 years old, and he's doing it outside the church as the father of church sees this, and he's wondering, what is Asta doing? Why is he working out at an age? As he goes, Asta, why are you working out? He goes, easy, Revet. Need to make someone pay for what they did. And he goes, huh? Like who? As then he says, Father, if you knew who my parents were, would you tell me? He goes, of course. But they left you on the doorstep. You're an orphan. He goes, that's if my parents were alive. He goes, what? From the moment I was born, I already could know who my parents looked like. Their faces, their voices. I already knew it all. And I saw the day they all died. My family, my mother and father. They died by a man from the Spade Kingdom. As the father's eyes widen. He goes, you know who they were, and you will witness their death. As he nods. Death just nods, and he says, yes, that is why I need to get stronger. I live a life before this, And he goes, what? What I'm about to tell you will be very, very different to what you know. But do you know about the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse? As he goes, no. And then he goes, well then, this is going to be hard to explain, but I'll try my best to explain as slow and carefully as I possibly can. As, the father nods, as Death explains it all to him about the 4 horsemen, who he really was, a Nephilim, and then they chose to kill all his brother and sister. Both his brothers and his sister chose to kill their kind, their race, and the last 4. He, though, chose to save humanity, which was killed off because of the apocalypse that happened on Earth. And yeah, he told them that, and he told them what weapons he used, what he can do because of this. As the father doesn't believe, and then he even says, so wait, you could summon a horse named Despair and a crow named Dust? He goes, yes, Dust is a very good crow of mine. He was able to guide my way with anywhere I need to go. As then all of a sudden, a crow lands on Asta's shoulder, as he says, Dust? Is that you? As the crow just squawks, or like cow and all that. As he goes, I haven't seen you in so long. How's it been, my old friend? As he starts petting the crow, as it rubs his hand, against his hand and everything. As he goes, okay, so there's a crow. Where's the horse? And he goes, that's what I'm working on my power for. Maybe I can. Yeah, that's why I'm working out, to see if I can actually use my power. As Asta holds his hand, as he says, and then a aura of purple starts to come out. He goes, seems like I'm getting close. And I can already tell my body's already getting stronger. He goes, Death. He goes, You can call me Asta. That is my name now. But my last name is Death. Asta Death? Yes. As the father smiles at this, actually, he goes, that's actually a weird but interesting name. As he says, thank you. Oh, I used to wear a mask, too, to cover my face. I actually liked that mask, so I may recreate it. Only though it came here, too. As then, dust flies away as he goes, huh. As, the father says, wait, why is he flying away? He goes, usually when he does that, when I say I wish I could find something, or I need to find something, he usually flies away and shows me it. As he says, I'll be back. As when he starts running, he starts to hear something. As the father, of Hodge Village starts to see something coming out of the ground. Flames start to appear. As he says, despair. My old friend again. One of my old friends. As basically the spirit comes out of the ground, just basically, but he sees a fire just burst and the horse comes out of nowhere. As then Asta is running, he jumps onto the horse, basically like a 4-year-old riding. As he just goes, yeah, basically as dust is flying faster. As basically the spirit is just going, keeping up. As when it's about an hour or two later, as he finds the way to the demon, the skeleton of the demon that's there. As when when Death gets there, he's saying, "Whoa, we gotta be careful here. I can't summon out my weapons." As basically they're taking a caution as dust basically flies down to the mask, and Beth gets off of despair basically and walks over to it. He goes, huh, so I guess it did come here too. As then when he looks over to the left, he with his eyes, as he says, no way. As basically he puts on the mask, he walks over as he grabs 2 handles and rips them out of the ground. As then he combines it into what you see in the picture. He says, my 2 scythes. I wonder if I can. As he, basically transforms it into the bigger scythe. He goes, perfect. Now I have my weapons. As he then, breaks them apart and turns them back into, as it bends, and, he puts them right behind him as he hooks onto them. As he realizes, he goes, huh, I've always forgot. I always use my magic to always hook them onto my clothing. Or there was a little hook to them. I always forget that. So he was doing the motion, but then he looks at it as they have a little hook, and he goes, ah, perfect. As basically he puts it behind him, and it's a little bit big. He goes, if only they can be my size now. As they do shrink. He goes, well, I guess I do have my magic. I wonder. Maybe if I can. As then he starts lifting both hands into the air as he summons the ghouls. And he goes, huh, so I did summon them back then. I thought it was somebody else. But it was me. Perfect. As then, the ghouls just break apart after a while. So he gets onto despair and says, let's go back to the village. Dust, despair, as they ride. As he rides off, as Dust is leading the way. When he gets back, it was around the afternoon. I know he moved faster, but let's just say the bones were a lot deeper into the forest, so it would take a while. And he was going through all the trees, not a pathway. So yeah, as he's going back towards Ha's village, asked, where is Asta? As basically Asta, as Death comes back, as he's going right through the village, as everyone sees a horse making green fire right behind it, and Asta being leaded by a crow, just going back to the village. As when he basically gets to the village, gets back to the church, comes out and he goes, Asta, how are you riding a horse? And why is that crow there? And what's going on? As Asta gets off the horse and says, Thank you, Despair. Now go and rest. As Despair rides off and then goes sleeping back into the ground through the fire. As dust lands on his shoulder, goes, Don't worry about it, just getting some old things of mine. He goes, what? As he sees the mask and all, and the father of the church says, it really does suit you. He goes, yes, I know. Also, I'm not gonna get a haircut, so don't worry about it. As the father says, we never usually have enough money for haircuts, but if it gets long, don't come crying to me. He goes, I won't. I prefer it to be long anyways. So yeah. So over the years, he has... Wait, hold on one. So, yeah. Okay, over the years, he has gotten taller. Stronger. He helps out people, with the field. Helps out the village and everything else. As Asta's skin color is getting a little bit paler. Not gonna lie. He is gonna look like, death. His skin's gonna get paler, but his hair stays the same. And his eyes stay the same too. Stay the same too. I'm not gonna say he's looking like actual death. I just say his skin color is getting lighter and all that, and that's it. And he's always outside though, so no one understands why. They just think it's his magic. But he goes out to he always says, "I'll be back," and rides off. And this is when they're 8 years old. Goes out there in the snowstorm like usual, and the man, the drunk man, does try to take his pendant. As Asta just says to him, he follows So, as he says to the man, when he tries to take his pendant, he goes, stealing from a child. How disgraceful of an adult. How about I make you learn your lesson? As, he comes out of the shadows with both scythes in his hand. They're he's holding them and they're right behind him. The point is right behind him. As the man goes, what the? You're Asta. Yeah. So you might let it go, my friend. Give him back his pendant. And, just leave here. Like nothing ever happened. He goes, I'm not gonna let some snot-nosed brat tell me what to do. And, Asta does get stronger, so he isn't going to be able to cut through this magic, and it is water magic. So, when he fires out a water bullet at him, Asta just simply does one thing. Just weak. He just cuts right through the magic easily. He just makes an upward slash, which cuts right through. As he goes, what? How are you able to cut right through? He goes, easy. These blades of mine can cut through anything. And no one can ever stop me. Now. As he transforms them both, combines them both, and again the bigger scythe, which is twice his size, basically. As he says, now give me back my friend's pendant, or your soul will go to the afterlife. As he goes, fine, here, just leave me alone. As he runs away, scared, as Asta breaks him apart, and they go back to normal. He goes, you alright, He goes, yeah, that was, he goes, scary, threatening. He goes, yeah. He goes, well, sometimes you need to threaten some people. Other times, you could just bluff. With me, I would have killed him if he didn't give you it. As he goes, Asta, he goes, look, you have to have a dream. You have to stop being this crying weakling all the time. You have to be stronger. don't be always this way. I'll help you if you need it. For you and me to get stronger. You have a dream, right? And he goes, yeah. What is it then? Well, to become Wizard King. As Death smiles underneath the mask. He goes, yeah, I have a dream. To go back to see my brothers and sisters. But maybe I should forget about that right now. I should have a new dream. As in this turn, it is Death who actually gets the same dream and inspired by to become Wizard King. He goes, then I too will become Wizard King then. As smiles, goes, you're trying to take my dream. He goes, no. And if I become Wizard King, then I'll just be grateful for you. You should just be grateful to me to live in the place where I live then. As goes, hey, all that. Just they just start chuckling. They go back to, the church. Sorry for messing up that little part, but yeah. So, a couple more years pass. He meets Sister Lily was there and all that. Well, she has been kind of concerned about Asta's skin changing, so 30 years passed from them being 8, and when they're like 12, Asta's skin color is completely like Death's. So I think like really pale, like whitish. I mean, a whitish green. Yeah. As they don't understand it. Asta doesn't really mind it. He's, as the father does say, asks Asta, says, so, is this what you used to look like? He goes, yes, actually, skin color wise, right? He goes, as he nods, he goes, yeah, pretty much. Hair got longer too. Had a lot more muscle. But it's whatever. Things change. But his arms aren't normal like Asta. They're not gonna be like that big. So yeah. But he does think though. Dust, can we find me my gauntlets? As Dust squawks as he does go over to the basically the demon skeleton grave and just trains there with his blades and all that and his magic, all his powers and such. But it's in the opposite direction that Dust is going. As he goes, I'll be back, everyone. As he summons out Despair. As the horse comes out. As he says, goes, Asta, where you going? He goes, oh, just following Dust. I'll be back in 3 hours or so, maybe even less. As he says, just be safe. So yeah, Death rides off, just riding. He's going, as he asked Despair, could he go full speed for, at least half of the way. As the horse just starts moving faster. He goes, thank you, friend. So yeah, so it takes about an hour to get there. As then he gets off the horse and it's a tomb. So he just tells Despair to wait and don't move. As basically Despair just stays there. So yeah, when Death goes into the tomb, he just walks in carefully. He's thinking that he needs a light source. Something, anything that will work. So he thinks, maybe if I could. As basically what happens is, he uses his purple aura to summon out an arm. He goes, I didn't know I could do that still. That's helpful. So yeah, what he sees though is, cobwebs, everything being dust all over it. Smell, dead. The dead in there. He goes, easy to get used to it. That's the one thing I haven't lost. So he just walks right through it like it's nothing. As Dust is basically flying downwards as he follows, and then he sees tombs, but they're all destroyed. As he says, "Who did this to the dead? It's disrespectful." As he walks, as Death is walking towards a podium with gauntlets there. As he goes, "Huh? No. These are mine. How are they? Wait, I never thought about how my sipes got here. Even my mask. I gave that to the Crow Father. Maybe when I come here, same thing will happen to my mask and my weapons. So that means some of my gear is here. Or it's just my clothing. Either way, I like the clothing I have now, but the gauntlets will be even better. As, he does have, different clothing. He does have clothing that looks like it's torn and ripped, and just, the pants are too. Their version of, he actually has, boots on, so yeah. His finger, his hands are, do have, some long fingernails to it, so they will make, and pretty strong, so they will, if they hit metal, they will make, sparks, or, any walls they will claw into. So, yeah, he has been also working on his acrobatics, his flexibility, see if he still has it, which he does, surprisingly. He's able to actually climb this all the way to the skeleton head, and sees the Wizard King statue, the very first. As he, goes there to watch the sunset every so often. So yeah, he puts on the gauntlets that is in the picture, but they fit to his size, which is a shocking, as then all of a sudden he starts feeling it burn onto him, as he goes, "God, what? Why is this happening?" As then all of a sudden, it lasts for a few minutes as it stops. As he goes, "Huh? Why? Wait, hold on, everyone. Sorry about that, everyone. I just had the dinner, but yeah. Anyways, back to it was I said after a few minutes they go by, he's like, said okay, what I think I said what's going on, why does this happen, all that, as he tries to take the gauntlets off, as they won't come off, as he goes, "Oh great, now I'm gonna have to deal with this." Just like when I had before I even died. Whole bunch of armor that I sold off so I can buy more materials to have some health items and such. Potions. Ooh, excuse me, everyone. Sorry about that, but yeah. As when he leaves, he's leaving the tomb. I don't know what's wrong with me, but anyways, as he's leaving the tomb, he has a weird feeling that he's gonna meet something similar to where the world he was in. And then all of a sudden something breaks through the ground. As he goes, "Of course. The living dead." As then he grabs the scythes and he prints them out. He goes "Alright, come at me, you undead freaks. I'll make sure you go back to where you belong." As when he just runs, he just starts hacking and slashing them and killing them basically. As it only takes a couple of minutes for them to all to die, which are really about 50 of them, which yeah, he slices right through all of them, pretty much. He just says, "It looks like my skills it looks like my skills aren't really that rusty." As then all of a sudden another creature comes right for the wall, wielding a freaking hammer. Yeah, he doesn't get more than one weapon, so yeah, it's a hammer. Basically, he goes "Oh, great. It's always the big ones that always have a hammer, isn't it? Alright. Well, let's do this thing. So, the monster just says, "Death, I've come for you." And he goes, "Wait. How? How do you know who I am? I don't even look the same." He goes, "It doesn't matter your scent. It's the same. Death is on you." As he goes, "Alright. Now this is gonna be fun." As in all of a sudden, Death is feeling his power growing. As soon as he put on the gauntlets, he just doesn't notice. As basically he starts to bring up those three, his little three ghouls as they're on fire, as he wanted them to be. As he goes, "You really think you can beat me now?" As the monster, which I don't know, I'm not gonna say witch or some random freaking monster that is from the Darksiders 2 world that wields a big giant weapon like this. Hold on, everyone. Got it. But anyways, yeah, sorry about that. It's like I told you guys earlier in every video. But yeah, so basically, the ghouls start running at the guy. They start, hacking and slashing at him for multiple minutes, and then all of a sudden they do explode, which he's on fire, and the creature's just screaming it out in pain. As, Death just starts running over and just starts hacking and slashing at him, and then just basically even able to jump on top and kick him in the face, make both of the sides turn to one, slashes off his arm, which holding the hammer, grabs it, and then all of a sudden when he lands, he runs over, making sure the other sides go into two, as he grabs the hammer and just starts, and he spins himself around, as then he hits him right in the leg, sending him flying into the air a little, as then he transforms right into the actual Death form with his scythe, as he just then cuts the monster right in half, and it dies. Basically, it just disintegrates. But let me see what that was, everyone. Alright, sorry, it was just some stupid thing about the app finder that I have on this phone. But yeah, anyways, so yeah, as basically he transforms back, but he's huffing and puffing. He goes, "That usually never takes up that much energy, or any at all. What happened? I know about the grimoires and all. I read everything in the library of the church about them. Is my powers affected by this world? Does that mean I need a grimoire too? Trouble. This is gonna be some real troublesome if I don't get one." So basically, he walks out with the hammer. So he puts it right on his back. I don't understand how he could always carry the hammer, but just saying, he just does. Just like game logic, he just does in this what if. So yeah, he's just walking out. As basically, Death, gets to despair as he hops on and says, "Alright, Dust, let's get going." As he rides off. And that took, that encounter took about, 20 minutes each. So he gets back there, and it's the mid-afternoon. No, it's about to be at least 1 o'clock. So yeah. And sees Asta with a new weapon, gauntlets, and yeah. And he goes, "Asta, why do you have that hammer?" He goes, "Trust me, If I told you, you'd never believe me." As the father sees it, he goes, "Oh, Asta, you're back." He goes, "Yes. So, you're not gonna ask?" He goes, "No, with me knowing some things, I can understand what may have happened." And he goes, "Alright, good." So, he says, "I'm gonna go take a nap now. I'm just tired from all of that fighting I did." And Unicorn's like, "Wait, what?" And he goes, "Don't be a bother asking." Even Sister Lily heard that. She was like, "Huh," and the other kids too. And so, yeah, when Asta basically goes, into his room, he just falls asleep. well, into everyone's room. But yeah. So, what happens is this. And we're doing like, I know I'm doing like a lot of time skips, but you know, I just want to give like little bits of like how he gets certain stuff before like he doesn't like. I just say, oh, he gets all of this, but anyways, yeah, that's it. As basically, it's a day of the Grimoire ceremony, as astas basically they come of age to get it. So I say like 14. So yeah, as he's like not this build, but he's a little bit more like to the size of where Asta was in the original, but a little bit bigger. Is as the father tells Death that if you don't get a grimoire, don't worry. I know you can come in Magic Night. As Sister Lily goes like, "What do you mean?" He goes like, "Oh, nothing." He goes, "Thank you, Father." Lily, my sister Lily, please don't worry about me. Of course I'll get a grimoire. As the other kid says, "Oh yeah, you'll get a grimoire." For sure, yeah, for sure. In a mocking way, one of them says it. It's the one that makes fire magic, and he goes, "Well, did you ever see me use magic?" He goes, "No, never. How do I know you even had it?" And he just says, "Because. That's why I want you to believe, little one." As he rubs his head and just walks away. As he says, "I always hate him when he does that." As other kids laugh at him for it, including the father and sister Lily. Was already ahead of him. He left a little bit earlier, so yeah. Def, can run. He runs over to as he's, always says, so he says, "I don't understand how you can run that fast, but you never tell me the truth, so I stopped acting a long time." He goes, "That's good." As his crow, dust is on his shoulder. He goes, "Why does that crow always come to you?" I was like, "What? You don't like him?" He goes, "No, I've just been wondering about that." He goes, "Oh, he's my friend. Well, my horse." I say, "Yeah, about that horse. Is that part of your magic, or can you just summon it?" And he goes, "Yeah, like." He goes, "Easy. It's a part of the 4 horsemen." And he goes, "What?" He goes, "If I told you everything, it won't be much fun, wouldn't it now, He goes, "Ugh, whatever." So yeah, so they get over to the Grimoire Ceremony, as the guy does the speech and all that, as everything goes similar, but something's different. When everyone gets a grimoire, does the whole entire thing. He gets his grimoire when it close. He's looking at Asta thinking, "What? Why isn't Asta not getting one?" As Death is thinking, he goes like, "So no grimoire for me. That means my body just ain't used to my power yet. I have to work harder now than ever." As then all of a sudden, Death hears a voice. Goes, "What are you? Are you even human?" He says, as Asta just says to in his head, he goes, "No, I was a Nephilim, a horseman of the apocalypse, death. And who are you?" As he states, "I am a demon, and demon that is able to kill his own kind and destroy this realm's magic. But yours is different. What and how did you even get here?" As Death just says, "If I told you that, would you even join me? How about this? You lend me your power, demon, and I'll tell you my story. Every little detail of it." As the anti-magic demon says, "Alright, it's a deal." As basically all of a sudden you just start hearing pounding like something's hitting the wall. As then all of a sudden the 5-leaf grimoire bursts out of the wall. And everyone is shocked to see it, as it just starts shooting right towards Asta. As Death the anti-magic demon is like saying, "Alright, I better absorb some of his magic power since I won't be affected by me. Let's see what happens to this old book." as he starts to absorb a little bit of Death's magic, as it is vast. It has no limit. It cannot be stopped. It's only his physical body could not take much of it. As the anti-magic demon says, "What? How is it so vast? How can anyone have this much magic?" Wait, he said the 4 horsemen. He is deaf. The horsemen of death. Maybe that's why. As then all of a sudden the grimoire starts to change. It starts to have looks like handprints. A bone, like someone's hand was like a bone on it. It starts to glow. It's, the grimoire is red, but then it starts to have a purple. It starts to go a little bit of purple. As then all next thing you know, a 4-leaf is starting to form right next to the 5-leaf. Now, like, it starts to form right when the 5-leaf clover, the end of it ends, like, the end part of it, like the stem. A 4-leaf starts to come right next to it. As basically, that just shocks the anti-magic demon. As when it stops right in front of death, it starts to grow a red and black and purple glow. As he just smiles underneath the mask, as everyone can see the 4-leaf clover and a 5-leaf. As he just grabs it, as all of a sudden, he feels his body, his magic, mostly his body though, going back to normal. As he says, "Just like how I used to be. This feels right." As the demon says to him, "I don't know how, but your magic is nothing like I've ever seen or ever felt. We're gonna make a good team." Death. As this isn't his side of his head. As everyone's seen it, sees it. He was a 5 and 4-leaf clovers. As Death looks over at Yuno and goes, "What's wrong? Can't believe someone like me has this, As Yuno just smiles and goes, "No. I should have questioned if you would have gotten one or not. Of course you would. You are my rival to become Wizard King." As Death takes off his mask, as he has not seen Asta's face for a very long time. Well, besides dinner, as everyone sees it, as it still looks like the same way as it does, but just like with that greenish, palish color that he does have in Darksiders 1. I just think it's pale. Yeah, I just changed it to pale. Like, like how he does in Darksiders. I mean, not Darksiders 1. I mean Darksiders 2. Yep. So yeah, basically, it looked green at some parts, but anyways, greenish, palish color. But yeah, just pale. Same way it is. But anyways, yeah. So he says, "Of course I would. After all, I made a vow to become Wizard King just like you. I'm never gonna break that. Understand me? I never give up. Never." As just smiles and says, "Alright. See you later, Asta." As then Death puts back on the mask, and as he starts walking away to the exit, already got to the door, open it up. As everyone is in shock, and the royals just run out and just say, just because they're pissed, as they say, "You two commoners, drop your grimoires and burn them right away. You did not deserve to have those grimoires." As then this, Asa just opens up Death just opens up his book, as he sees the spell. He goes, "Huh." He's saying this in his head. He goes, "So my magic and my abilities have increased exponentially because of my magic in this world now. Alright." As basically all of a sudden he says, "Necromancy. Death magic." As they go, "What?" "Ghoul summoning." as basically a whole bunch of ghouls appear. And people are still in the, in the ceremony place seeing this, as they see it. He goes, what type of magic is this? He goes, didn't you hear me? Necromancy, death summoning. There's about 150 of these. And they can go on fire or electrocute you. Do you want to feel their pain? As a, no. Then he says, leave me alone then, you royal scum. You should be glad I don't kill you. I am a horseman. The horseman of the apocalypse. The rider, death. Don't ever question me, or even tell me what to do. As Hero says, he goes, what? He goes, yes, I am the reincarnation. Well, I still have all my memories and such, but call me Asta, death. Alright, as basically he just rubs back to his neck, as basically the Chain Mage comes out and destroys all of the ghouls, well, at least until there's like 50 left, as he goes, oh, pretty impressive for a beginner spell, as Asta just says, chains, pretty basic magic, as he goes, what can you do to me? As he says, I can do a lot, actually. I can destroy them, I can pull you towards me, and basically punch you in the face, slam you against a wall, tie you up with your own chains. There's a lot I could do. As he just says, ugh. As basically, though, he sees the Grimoire floating as it's a 5-leaf and a 4-leaf. As he sees also, 4-leaf clover, he goes like, oh, a 4-leaf and a 5 and 4-leaf double clovers. Nice. I'll basically get those grimoires and sell them on the black market as artworks. As Death just gets pissed off, he says, Royals, both of you. This is what happens when you mess with me. As then all of a sudden, the page starts flipping forward as Asta was about to just, well, not as Death was about to just grab his twin scythes, as then all of a sudden, the Demon Slayer sword comes out. And though Asta still has the hammer on his back, though he does grab the hammer, and because as soon as the Demon Slayer sword comes out, the page opens up to more, being a big one as he starts putting it through his, his hammer that he has. And he goes, huh, so you can store them for me, huh? He goes, of course. Your magic allows me to do this, which is kind of amazing. Not gonna lie. I even enhanced your magic too, to even have anti-magic within it. You should be grateful, Death. One of the 4 horsemen. And he smiles underneath the mask and says, thank you, demon. He says that, and he says, no problem, partner. But when Asta grabs the sword, is not chained up, he's just watching this. He's in shock with how much power Asta has. Well, what he thinks. As then, Death just says, now. As he grabs the sword, he says, come at me, Mage. I'll show you what's the difference between me and you. As the Mage gets pissed off, it just says, alright then, take this, you no good snot-nosed brat! As basically he does an all-out attack. As then Asta just does, well, Death does exactly the same thing Asta does in the anime, and slices the chains, dispelling the magic. He goes, what? How is that even possible? He goes, easy. I can cut through magic all on my own. I don't need to even use this sword alone. I have my own weapons, but they're too powerful for you. As this sword can't even kill you. So, as Asta just gets in a running position, he says, take this! As he just dashes forward, disappear from anyone's eye. And then he says, give it up! Plus this! That's my magic! And boom, he just hits him, sending him flying. He basically is impaled into the wall. Like, he is dug deep into the wall, basically, as he holds his sword in his back, goes, huh, and you call yourself a magic knight. As then he realized, goes, oh wait, you might not be a magic knight, just a mage who's a rogue. Well, that was easy then. As like he puts away the sword, all the other freaking schools disappearing. As the rose goes and then Death looks at them and says, now, hold on. Alright, I'm back. As Death says, now, don't ever question somebody by their status. Someone can be a lot stronger than you, or get stronger than you without you ever knowing. Understand me, you two. As they say, yes, sir. We're sorry, sir. And, they just run away. As basically, someone calls the Magic Knights to arrest the guy, as they do have a hard time pulling him out because he's so far deep into the wall. As Death just goes over and says, well, I'm the one who put him in there, so allow me to grab him out. And he goes, well, you're gonna kill him. And he goes, don't worry, I won't. And basically he rips him out of the wall, everything's embedded into, as he says, see, it's perfectly fine. As they leave with him, and they don't do the whole time fist bump, as then Asta says inside his head, saying, oh yes, demon. He goes, yeah, partner. He goes, do you know that there may be other demons here? As he just goes quiet, the anti-magic goes quiet, goes, tell me, what did it sound like? This voice that you may have heard. He goes, how do you? He goes, just please. As he described it, he goes like, that's Lucifer. Ah, he's here already. I need you to kill him. Or no, Death, please, help me kill him. He goes, oh, he's saying this all in his head, basically. He goes, that you and my objective are aligned. The man who Lucifer's helping killed my parents. So, I'll help you, demon. As in, as he's in his subconscious, basically saying this. Well, he's saying this in his head. As the anti-magic even says, "Thank you." And that's where I'm ending this off, everyone. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. You guys all have a nice day and night. I'm only like at 1.4 memory space, so this video was gonna be short anyway. No, we're gonna keep going. Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to get on with this. So yeah, so as Asta, do train, Asta is training with his anti-magic demon slayer sword, and along with his powers, he realized that he really did need the grimoire, and that he's grateful to the anti-magic demon. As then he actually is like fighting way more efficiently, and everything else. He doesn't know how, but it just feels like he really is back to his old self. So yeah, this goes on for a couple of months, as they're about to go to the Clover Kingdom to become Magic Knights. And so, what happens is they say their goodbyes to everyone at Hot Village. As basically he summons out Despair, and him get on as they wave goodbye as Asta rides off. With So it doesn't take them long. They got the map. They rest. It takes about 2 days to get there on horseback. It would take 4, but with Despair, it takes about 2. So yeah. So when they get there, they're a little bit early. So they decide to look around and just they have enough. He warned so they did save up a little bit of money. So they basically have a place to stay. It's a hotel, and they do stay a night. Like they do stay a couple of nights and all. So yeah. So after that, it's the day of the Magic Night exam. As and Death, and he told everything that night, and he told everyone everything as they're surprised to even hear this. As he just laughs about it, he goes, yeah. So I didn't want to go through that, but anyways, though, when the day of the Magic Night exam, gets his whole entire gasp that he has a 4-leaf clover, but when it comes to Asta, he shows him Grimoire as he goes, "What is this old rag? What? 2 clovers?" Well, he goes, and haha, guys, and Seke? Yeah, Seke's going, only 2 clovers. He's weak. He goes, "How the hell do you have a 5-leaf clover and a 4-leaf clover?" And Seke goes like, What? So that's what he meant by 2 clovers. He goes, as everyone's in shock by it, he goes, "Can I just go in?" He goes, "Sure, name Asta Death." He goes, "Alright, Asta Death, go right in." So yeah, so Dust is with him. Despair did dispel, when they got in, when, they got near to the city. So yeah, basically, all that happens as they get into the Magic Nizam. Death is just standing there. No birds are coming near him because they can sense this magic. So, everyone sees that and Asta's magic are very high. Seke doesn't want to fight him. Some rurals are wondering why is the commoners have this much magic, while they do have some birds going near them. And, he's just standing there waiting. But he can't do what anyone else can, though. He knows this. He's at a big disadvantage in this. And so he doesn't know what he's gonna do. But hey, it's gonna be fun. He thinks. So yeah. So what happens is this. Yami doesn't come over. Well, Yami sees him in the mask and that he looks pretty strong. And, Finral is going to say, "Hey, Captain, Yami, we're going to have to, go." He goes, "Just a minute, I just need to ask this kid a question." Also, while Yami's coming over, Nero, comes over. Nero comes over and lands on his head. He goes, "Huh, hello, little bird." Dust squawks out. He goes, "Dust, be kind to our new friend." As Dust stops squawking and then hops onto his head as he Dust starts to rub against Nero's head as he just starts laughing. "You were it must have been a girl then, since you're a guy." As Nero sweats a little as he goes, "No, Dust, don't get any ideas." And he squawks basically all that. So yeah, as Yami comes over and goes, "Hey kid, what's your magic?" He goes, "Death and necromancy." Got a problem with that? As he says, "No, actually. You must be pretty strong to have this many. You only have one magic sensory bird to be near you." I was like, "Yes, but hey, I'm a unique type of person. Don't judge me just because of my death and necromancy magic. Plus, a little secret magic that I didn't know I even had." He goes, "Alright, kid, I'm interested in you. What's your name?" "Asta Death. Nice to meet you." As he holds out his hand. As Yami grabs it and they shake, and he feels Yami trying to hurt him. Basically, he goes, "Is that supposed to hurt?" As Yami goes, "What?" As Death just starts squeezing a little, as Yami's hands start to hurt a little. He goes like, "Okay, you proved it." He goes, "Alright. Goodbye, Yami." Yami, and he says, "Oh yes, never told me your name." He goes, "Yami, the Black Bulls captain." He goes, "Alright, captain of the Black Bulls. It's nice to meet you." So yeah. So the anti-magic demon says, "Already took a liking to him, have you?" He goes like, "Actually, yes. He reminds me of my brother War. Well, a little bit just because he has strength. War always had a bad temper and he was always strong. But he was also stronger than me. But Captain Yami, well, the Black Bull's captain, reminds me a little bit of him. That's all." So yeah. So, all the Magic Knights captains come out and, the same speech happens. They do the flying broomstick as Asta just transforms into his death form. As the Grimoire opened up, as he just transforms in it and just starts flying. Which everyone's amazed by it. And then, after they say, "Alright, that's enough," he comes down, de-transforms. Then it's like the art, like the freaking test to see if you can hit the target. Asta just throws his freaking scythe at it. He goes, "How's that?" And basically it does return to him. He was like, "That's good." But you're supposed to. He goes, "Yeah, this scythe can only be used for short range, but it does the job done, as you can see." As they go, like, "Yes." But they do ask, "Do you have any magic that you use for?" He goes, "No, only my scythes." All right. As I go, all right. So yeah. So then is the creation. As Asta says, easy. Oh, Death says easy. At this, he just summons out one. He summons out a couple of, only three. Without using without using his Grimoire, he brings up three freaking ghouls. As they like, he goes, "What? Surprise! Necromancy and death magic." It's just simple. As basically snaps his fingers as they, destroyed. As they say, alright, that's the combat portion. Everyone goes besides and Asta. Well, goes then, and then it's finally Asta. It's a noble. Some noble that thinks, he's better than everyone else. Because he has light magic. As he, basically says, death and necromancy magic. What dark source of magic you have? Do you really think you can win against me? As Asta just opens up the Grimoire, well, not Asta, as Death opens up his Grimoire, and basically he pulls out the anti-magic Demon Slayer sword. As he says, "Yeah, show me what you got." As basically, the match begins, as he throws a whole bunch of light magic at him, as Asta just swipes right through it, cutting it. He goes, "Seriously, this is all you got. Royalty is supposed to have much more magical power than this behind your attacks, right?" It says, "Shut it!" Commoner goes like, "You're just a fool." As then he activates the Grimoire, as he says, "Death Piercer." As he just goes right forward, and he just basically hits the guy in the stomach, as it looks like he goes right through him. Basically, it does. He hits the guy's soul with the sword, but he doesn't kill it. Which anti-magic demon is impressed by it, as he just puts the sword on his shoulder. He goes, "Is that all? That's it. He's knocked out. I have won." As basically the guy falls to the ground. As everyone's in shock by this, and they say, he wins. Asta wins, basically. Well, not Asta, Death wins and all that. So yeah, the Magic Knight captains are completely in shock by this. As Yami's impressed even more. As, he puts away the sword, and then, the ceremony happens where, they choose. Still goes to Golden Dawns. Some people choose Asta, like only two. The Silver Eagles and the Black Bulls. As the Silver, he looks at Yami, looks at Yami, and basically says, "Why are you choosing him, Yami?" He asks, he goes, "Because I like his style. His magic is very weird, but it's effective." As Noswell says, "So you see the capability that he has." As as basically says, "Well, I can't go to both of you. So, he says, man, this is gonna be tough." So he thinks about it a while, and he just says he asks Noswell, "Are all of your, people royalty?" As he nods, and he says, "Well, I'm just a commoner from an unknown village, so it may be a problem since I may get attacked or being laughed at for being a commoner." As he says, "I see. Well, that would happen to you. So, I bet you're gonna go with, yep, I'm gonna go with the Black Bulls, Captain Yami." As Yami just starts laughing, he goes, "Yeah, we're a bunch of all weirdos in my guild, well, not guild, in, my squad, but you'll fit right in, especially with that mask and with your skin being that way." As also you have a crow and all that. As also says, I can also summon a horse. Here you go. Well, Death says that as they go, what? As he calls despair. As basically the horse starts coming out of the ground. As they go like, he goes, yeah, instant transportation right in. He never gets tired. So, yeah. As he disappears right back into the green flames. As that happens. So basically, what happens is next, as Yami, Finral, Death, and the purple, well, the guy who makes poison magic, all go back to the Black Bolt's hideout, which that the guy did not go at him because he was never chosen, and he just left in disgrace. But basically, yeah. So, they get to the Black Bolt's hideout, and the Death is about to open up the door. But when he opens it, no, he grabs the handle and opens it up. As then a fireball starts to about to hit him. As basically he catches the fireball, which impresses Yami. Venerals are shot along with the guy who makes poison magic. As then he just crushes it. He goes, "Ugh, this is your squad." He goes, "Yep, loud, annoying, and obnoxious. Aren't we the best?" As Death just says, remembers how both his brothers and sister were, and he says, "Actually, feels like home." And so, Yami says everyone shut in and line up as he introduces him to everyone. He introduces Death to everyone as not. Then he says who. The Death says who he is, as then he has to go to the bathtub of fire. The freaking portion of endurance and just pure muscle was easily done. And then it comes to the magic part. He just freaking takes out the scythes and just says, "Alright, let's do this." As basically what happens is Mana starts throwing out his magic, fireballs at him, and basically he just cuts right through them really fast and easily, which everyone is shocked to see. As the next he just starts to then put them both together, and then his grimoire opens up, and he says, "So slash." As then he spins around and slash, as basically a version of what Yami saw. His Reaper form comes out in a purple glow and slashes through freaking give me a minute. Yeah, it's Mana, and it was with Mana with the gauntlet, the fire gauntlet. So yeah, so it slashes through Mana as everyone sees no blood or anything else, but Mana knocked out. As Death says, "Don't worry, he's only knocked out for a few minutes, but enough for me to win, right?" As Yami says, "Yep, I was right. Your magic is weird, but that was pretty cool." As he just starts rubbing the back of his head, goes, "Thanks." As then Mana wakes up, goes like, "Yeah, man, that magic of yours is so awesome. I don't know what it is, but hey, I don't care." And then he says, "Huh, really?" He goes, "Yeah. I mean, honestly, we're all a bunch of freaks and misfits here. What no one wants. You just fit right in." As basically he does have like the head. He doesn't have like the headband, but he gets the robe and then the Black Bull's mark on his mask. And he goes, "Huh. Thank you, everyone." As he does tell them all about his magic power, as they're surprised to even hear that. And then he just even says about the Demon Slayer sword, which he thinks he can deflect magic. So they test it out, and he can, which surprised even more, as they say he's even more awesome. So yeah. So as the top of the Black Bolt's hideout, as there is a silver-haired girl, which is Noelle, as she just sees him, and she goes, "What is wrong with him? How is he so strong? And why can I sense his magic powers greater than any captain, including my brothers?" Which, the anti-magic demon was suppressing now his power at the Black Bolt, or at the, Magic 9 exam, so yeah. So anyways, that's where I'm gonna end this video off, alright? Next video, we're gonna go to what happens to Noelle, then we're gonna go to the very first mission, and that's where we're gonna, we're just gonna go from there. Alright, everyone? I do hope you guys do have a nice day and all. stay safe out there. Alright, bye everyone. Also, next video is gonna come out right after this video's upload. But if I have to do it past 12, yeah, we're gonna have to wait till tomorrow until I'm done with school for it. Alright, bye everyone.